Hello, my wonderful friends. Magus with you. Have you created God in your own image? Does he hate the people you hate? Does he want to kill the people you want to kill? My friends, our mission as the Order of the Magi is to bring knowledge of the all-good God and to bring Asha, the highest truth, to this earth. But I have a second burning desire, and that is to remove all the organized world religions and their books and their lies and their monster God that tortures people to this day. These books were written by morally corrupt people that had thousands of wives, that hated and lied and murdered. They would go in and kill men, women, and children. Imagine if Trump today wrote the religious books. Imagine if the leader of North Korea wrote the religious books. Imagine if the leader of China wrote the religious books. We don't need their knowledge. We don't need their wisdom. We need the highest truth. It only comes from good spirit, that divine spark that God put inside all of us. My friends, there is such brutality and hate and fear in the world religions books. Imagine that they condone stoning children for being disrespectful to parents. You read that and just gloss over it. Think about it. What would that look like? Okay, the drunk Jewish mom on wine, sick of the kids that day, and she says, "That's it, I'm taking you to the priest to be stoned." And she hands him over and says, "These kids are brats, they've been disrespectful." And the priest looks at her and goes, "You know what that means." And the kids are saying, "No, mommy, I'm sorry, I'll be good." And you know what? It's not like in the movies. When you hit a child on the side of the head with a rock, he doesn't just die like that. He falls and he bleeds and he's crying, "Mommy, I'm sorry, I'll be good, I'll be good." But they keep hitting him with stones until the life is beat out of him. What God is getting off on that? I'll tell you what, it ain't a Hura Mazda. It's the evil spirit that loves to see death and hate and suffering and pain. Wake up. How about the story of Job, where it's a bet between God and Satan? Will your child still love you after you've destroyed all of his hope? It's lies. It's nonsense. How about Abraham, that he said God told him to kill his child like an animal sacrifice? What if your best friend came to you and said, "Hey man, do you know what? I think God's telling me to sacrifice my son like an animal sacrifice." Would you say, "You better go do that because God wants you to do that"? Or would you say, "Hey, let's take a minute. Let's get some help. These people that wrote these books need help, but you're reading it and it's destroying your mind and your brains. It's putting you in bondage and hell." My friends, as a child, my pastor that I still love and keep in contact with today, he comes to the house every year, but he tortured me, but I still love him. But he told me that the Bible is like if you bought a car, it's the owner's manual. To know how to run your life, you must read it. So as a small child, every night I would go into my room and I read through the whole Bible. It was the most traumatic, horrible experience of my life. I remember coming out of my room and my mom going, "Are you okay?" And I was scared to answer because I didn't want to say what I'm reading is scaring me. What I'm reading doesn't seem good, doesn't seem right, because I was scared that monster God was going to burn me in hell for even having these thoughts. And I was scared and terrified and I was bound in fear. And then you do everything they tell you, even though it's going against your very spirit that God put in you. God put a book inside of you. That's the only book you need. You know good from bad, good from bad, good from bad. It is inside of you. And those books are bad and they are lying to you. And they pepper in just enough truth to confuse you. The priest will say, "Okay, well that's true, right? Do you agree with that? Is that true?" And you say yes. Then they tell you then it must all be true. Where did they get that scientific diagnosis? One potato, two potato? No, you take the good out and you leave the evil. It is quite simple. My friends, have you created a God in your own image? Do you serve the all-good God, or do you serve a monster God that hates, wars, and kills, and is full of fear? There's good news. The Magi teach there is one way to salvation. It makes it so simple. One way to salvation. It is that of good thoughts. God thoughts. Good, God are the exact same thing. God thoughts. God words. Good words. God deeds. Good deeds. My friends, when you become one energy, the Christ mind that you and Ahura Mazda, the all good spirit, are one, and you think good, and you speak good, and you do good, you are vibrating that good energy. You are doing none of the things in those so-called ancient texts of hating, warring, killing, lying, all the nonsense that is in there. You come into alignment with that divine spark inside of you, that book that is in you that God put in. The owner's manual to this life is inside of you. You know good, you know bad. And those old religions are bad. Throw them out. Throw those books out. Stop living under that burden. My friends, I'm going to ask you to do something today. Join us. Join the Order of the Magi. One, God is all good. He does not hate, war, kill, and destroy his creatures. Number two, come into alignment with that all good God. Turn away from the lie, the illusion, sin, hate, fear, greed. Come into alignment with good that you instinctively know, and you will create Asha, heaven on earth, right now. There is a sun that burns inside of you, and it's like when the sun comes out and burns away those morning clouds. That's what that sun inside of you will do to the sin and air that has been passed down from generation to generation that is in your form. It will burn it away. You will burn bright in love, peace, joy, power, and freedom. One with God as children of God. And everyone you come in contact with, you will bless. You will bless the animals. You will bless the earth, the trees, the grasses, because you are a burning son of God. I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's change this world. Will you share this message with someone today? Get passionate about what we have. We have the message of the Magi. God bless you guys.